Hi guys, the sun has risen over the vast agricultural lands of Australia, where farmers start their day by carefully inspecting every corner of their farms for signs of foxes. There is no chaos, speed, or bloody scenes like the fierce battles on the savannah, but here, a silent battle takes place every day between humans and the invasive foxes. This battle not only requires patience, but also demands smart strategies to protect livestock and crops from the devastation caused by these cunning predators. In rural areas of Australia, foxes, Vulpes vulpes, have become a serious threat to agriculture. It is estimated that about 7.2 million foxes live across Australia, causing up to 227 million Australian dollars, approximately 150 million USD, in damages each year to livestock and native wildlife. These foxes do not only prey on lambs, poultry, and small animals, but also pose a significant threat to endangered native species, contributing to the decline and extinction of many of Australia's unique wildlife. Foxes are solitary and cunning hunters. With sharp claws like pliers and razor-sharp teeth, they can capture prey precisely and kill it in the blink of an eye. An adult fox can kill up to 30 lambs in a single night, and the more frightening fact is that they often eat only a small portion of their prey, leaving carcasses scattered around the farm. This creates a grim scene and causes severe losses for farmers. To address this issue, Australian farmers have implemented various measures such as building high and sturdy fences, using livestock guardian dogs such as the well-known Maremma breed, and even applying fertility control methods to manage the fox population. The Australian government has also launched programs to control fox numbers by using poison bait and organising controlled hunting operations to minimise agricultural damage and preserve the nation's biodiversity. Especially at night, when wild boar's vision is diminished, the use of traps becomes even more effective. Wild boars have poor vision in the dark, but rely heavily on their sense of smell and hearing. Taking advantage of this weakness, farmers typically place traps in areas where wild boars frequently visit, such as near water sources, forests, or fields planted with corn and soybeans. According to reports from the US Department of Agriculture (USDA), the success rate of large traps can reach up to 80%, helping reduce risks for farmers and limiting the damage caused by wild boars. Once the wild boars are trapped, farmers proceed with eliminating them the following morning. There are two common methods: either shooting them on sight or loading the boars onto trucks to transport them to animal processing facilities. Some places also apply the method of allowing the boar carcasses to decompose naturally in wild areas, returning nutrients to the soil. This not only saves farmers time, but also reduces transportation and disposal costs. However, the use of traps also requires patience and skill from the farmers. They must regularly check the traps to ensure they are functioning properly and do not pose a risk to non-target animals. The traps also need to be cleaned and maintained frequently to sustain long-term effectiveness. While traps may not completely solve the wild boar problem, they remain one of the most effective measures for controlling and protecting agricultural environments, as well as contributing to the stability and safety of rural communities. The silent battle between Australian farmers and foxes continues every day. It is not just a fight to protect farmers' property and livelihoods, but also an effort to maintain natural balance and safeguard Australia's unique ecosystem against the invasion of a dangerous non-native species. On farms located near forests or wilderness areas in Australia, foxes are constantly lurking, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. The scene of chickens lying motionless on the ground, feathers scattered everywhere, with deep and mottled bite marks, is enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. This is not the first time farmers have witnessed such devastation. They are well aware that the culprits are the cunning foxes that have been hiding in the area for several nights. It is estimated that foxes cause up to 227 million Australian dollars, approximately 150 million USD, in damage to agriculture each year, primarily due to attacks on livestock, poultry, and even rare native wildlife. However, what is even more concerning is the change in fox behavior. Instead of wandering solely in forests or wild areas, they now frequently appear in residential neighborhoods, sometimes even venturing into backyards and homes. The sense of safety among the residents gradually fades as these foxes start to claim densely populated areas as their territory. Not only do foxes attack livestock, but they also pose a threat to humans. There have been several instances of foxes attacking people, particularly children and the elderly. One notable example is a case where a woman had to face the aggression of a fox right in her own backyard. Despite her efforts to escape, the fox continued to pursue her. Fortunately, she survived, but the physical injuries and psychological trauma still linger with her every day. To combat this threat, using traps to control the fox population has become an effective and necessary solution for Australia's agricultural sector, as well as ensuring community safety. These traps are intelligently designed, simple to use, and reusable. Not only do they help reduce the number of foxes in the area, but these measures also help prevent unfortunate attacks from occurring. However, controlling the fox population also needs to be combined with protective measures for livestock, such as building sturdy fences, using guard dogs, and staying vigilant for signs of fox activity around residential areas. The silent battle between humans and foxes in Australia continues every day. Behind these control and protection measures are emotional stories of farmers' struggles, not only to safeguard their property and livelihoods, but also to maintain peace within their communities. In Australia, controlling the fox population requires a combination of various methods, with trapping and hunting being the most effective approaches. There are different types of traps specifically designed based on the size and weight of the fox. Farmers need to carefully prepare tools such as traps, ropes, and bait, usually fresh meat or strongly scented food, to attract the foxes into the traps. While setting the traps may seem simple, it requires careful strategy and a high level of caution. Choosing the right location for setting the traps is crucial to successfully catching foxes. Typically, farmers place traps along paths that foxes frequently travel, such as forest trails, areas near water sources, or places where they often forage at night. According to the experience of many farmers, setting traps 2 to 3 times a week increases the chances of catching foxes and significantly reduces the damage they cause. According to reports from the Australian government, thanks to control measures such as trapping and hunting, the fox population has decreased by approximately 30% over the past 5 years. This is an impressive figure, especially considering that foxes cause up to 227 million Australian dollars in damage to agriculture each year. Furthermore, controlling the fox population also contributes to protecting rare native wildlife from the threat of extinction, as foxes often prey on small animals and native birds, which severely impacts the local ecosystem. However, the process of setting traps and eliminating foxes requires strict adherence to safety guidelines. Farmers need to regularly check the traps to ensure they are not damaged and do not pose a danger to humans or other animals. The traps are typically designed to target only foxes, avoiding harm to non-target species. In addition to trapping, hunting is also a popular and effective method for controlling the fox population, especially in agricultural areas such as New South Wales and Victoria, where foxes frequently destroy farms. Hunting not only helps control the fox population, but also provides economic benefits to farmers through the sale of fox pelts or use in other commercial activities. For many farmers, hunting foxes is not just a recreational activity, but a responsibility to protect crops and maintain ecosystem balance. While foxes play a role in Australia's ecosystem, when their numbers increase too rapidly and go unchecked, they can become a serious threat to the natural food chain. The decline in livestock and small animal populations due to fox attacks will lead to ecological imbalance, impacting the entire local ecosystem and Australia's agricultural industry. Therefore, controlling the fox population is not only about protecting agriculture, but also safeguarding Australia's natural ecosystem. The sudden increase in the fox population in Australia not only poses a direct threat to the agricultural sector, but also creates significant pressures on the local ecosystem. Foxes are opportunistic omnivores with a diverse hunting range, preying on small animals like mice, rabbits, and birds, as well as livestock such as lambs, chickens, and even calves when the opportunity arises. According to the Australian Department of Agriculture, foxes cause an estimated 227 million Australian dollars in damage to the agricultural economy every year, not only due to their attacks on livestock, but also because they destroy crops and deplete native animal populations. Foxes do not stop at attacking domesticated animals. They also threaten the natural food chain. As their numbers increase rapidly, they compete directly with other predators such as eagles, owls, and smaller carnivorous mammals. This leads to ecological imbalance, diminishing biodiversity, and complicating efforts to conserve native species. A study by the University of Queensland revealed that the overpopulation of foxes in rural areas has caused a 40% decline in some native bird species over the past decade. In light of this situation, Australian farmers have been forced to implement creative and effective measures to control the fox population. In addition to trapping, hunting has become a popular solution for many. Hunting not only helps quickly control the number of foxes, but also allows farmers to proactively track and locate their dens. A prime example is in rural New South Wales, where fox hunting groups have reduced the fox population by up to 30% in just one hunting season. This approach significantly reduces damage to livestock and protects crops, especially during the spring and summer months when fox activity is at its peak. In addition, wildlife management agencies have intensified control measures, including regulated fox trapping and culling programs, combined with community education on how to protect property and livestock from fox threats. These efforts not only help safeguard the agricultural environment, but also contribute to restoring the natural balance, creating favorable conditions for the recovery of native wildlife populations. In conclusion, the battle against foxes in Australia is not just about protecting crops and livestock, but also about preserving the natural ecosystem and maintaining the sustainability of the country's agriculture. Farmers play not only the role of producers, but also of environmental guardians, always persevering and being creative in dealing with the challenges posed by nature. In Australia, protecting sheep during the breeding season is a life or death task for farmers. Foxes, with their hunting instincts and agility, pose a significant threat, especially as they can kill up to 30% of the lambs on farms every year. According to the Australian Sheep Farming Association, the damage caused by foxes amounts to 227 million Australian dollars annually, affecting not only livestock but also crops and native wildlife. On dark nights, when the sheep lie still in their pens, farmers cannot rest easy. They organise dramatic night hunts to prevent fox attacks. The old pickup truck quietly moves towards the edge of the forest, where foxes are often seen. Equipped with rifles, flashlights, and sound-mimicking devices, the hunters begin their silent pursuit. One of the most common techniques is mimicking the call of a fox or prey to lure them in. A faint whistle echoes through the dark field, and within minutes, a small shadow appears under the light. With patience and focus, the hunter quickly identifies the target and acts decisively. According to statistics, this method has a success rate of up to 70%. Especially effective during night hunts. However, hunting foxes is no easy task. The hunters need to be in excellent physical condition, with the ability to move quickly and endure harsh weather conditions. They may have to remain hidden for hours, staying absolutely silent and ready to react when the opportunity arises. At night, the vision of foxes is reduced, but they remain highly sensitive to the slightest sounds and movements. The hunters must move carefully, using light cautiously to avoid startling the fox.